And now that I've taken definitely more time than I wanted to, it is time to pass the ball to our esteemed guest, Damien, Fran, and Stephen. We're going to start with Damien, who's joining us, and he's the SEO expert and director of the Book Direct show. Damien, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you so much. That was really useful. I learned a lot there. That was great. And yeah, I'm really delighted to be invited to join you guys here. I'm going to just talk a little bit just about SEO, keyword research, and the importance of direct booking websites, and how to incentivize your guests to book directly with you. So, I mean, this is the dream for a lot of people. How can we get our prospective guests to find our website firstly and to book with us? So there's a number of ways that I'm just going to go through now in terms of finding and researching your keywords, optimizing your site with some search engine optimization tips and some direct booking incentives that you can employ on your website. First of all, one thing I just wanted to kind of get everyone's head around is that with search engines, people use them very differently, and people use keywords very differently. So I've just given a few examples underneath here. We can see children versus kids. These are some of the most common phrases for child-friendly holidays or cottages. And this is mostly based in the UK. So we've got child-friendly holidays, child-friendly cottages, holiday cottages with children's facilities, child and dog-friendly cottages, etc. So these are the things that people are searching for online, and phrases that you really need to be aware of in terms of optimizing your site with your most important keywords. Equally, I'd say the same about babies versus toddlers. Toddlers is not necessarily a phrase that I would use. Toddler come teenager, but this is something I think that everyone kind of needs to be aware of. These words and phrases that people use for using one word or another, and newborns as well. And if your property is applicable for those, I would certainly be making sure you include them. And then we've got also family holidays, family holidays, family-friendly rentals, unusual family homes, etc. When you're carrying out keyword research, it is very important, and there are hundreds of tools out there to use, and it's a tricky one to know which is right. There's no wrong ones really out there, but I'm going to just go through a few that are very useful. There's paid and free options out there. Keyword Planner, Google Ads, a lot of SEOs will point you to, and it is very useful. This is a tool for those who have Google ad campaigns. It is very useful, but it is limited. So I'm going to just go through a couple of others underneath here. One thing I will say is that long-tailed keywords, which are just quite simply longer phrases, are a lot easier to rank for on search engines, especially like Google. Whereas shorter keyword phrases like vacation rental, New York, or something like that, it's going to be very difficult to compete with an OTA because they've got armies of teams, and they will be ranking most likely higher for them. Answer the Public is an excellent tool, which I'm sure some of you will use. You can use seed words to find out related phrases to your particular seed word, and it brings up all of the most popular search phrases that are used in Google. Google search itself, obviously, a very simple process to check out. Google autocomplete is on the right. You'll see a little screen grab there of something where you start typing in Miami Kids FR. That will give you some options of things that people are searching for and have already searched for on Google. People also ask, and searches related to, you'll also see those on the main Google search engine results pages. Worth checking out because they give you invaluable information about phrases that people have been using. One thing I'd also say at this point is that approximately 25% of searches on Google alone are unique and have never been made before. So something to bear in mind. It's a very difficult task to identify those keywords that your prospective guest is using. But we have some tools here to try and get to the bottom of it. Google Search Console is a really great and underused facility. and one that I find most companies don't use to its maximum benefit. There is a tab called the Performance tab, which shows all of those search phrases that have resulted in an impression of your website in the first 10 pages of the results pages. So go check that out. And Ubersuggest is another really, really useful and free tool that is available online, and there is a Chrome extension for it as well. And sorry, I missed that one. Keywords Everywhere, also a really useful Chrome extension. It is at a small cost at $10, but it helps you, it gives you data for any search that you undertake in Google. It will tell you the amount of monthly searches next to it. So I'm going to just run through a few essentials, what I believe are really useful to know an awful lot about search engine optimization. So one thing I'd say is keyword research. Number one, don't assume you know what your visitors are looking for. It will inevitably be different to what you think they're looking for. Don't try to compete with OTAs. Look for longer, long-tail keywords. These are ones that don't have as much search queries, but they do generally result in better intent and are easier to rank for. Your on-page optimization is where you can integrate your keywords. So the tools that we've used, once you've identified your keywords, we can add them into our content, our title tags, meta descriptions, image descriptions, URLs, header tags, and internal links. Linking and your link profile is one of the most important parts of SEO, but also one of the most difficult. So this is essentially getting people to link to your site. One great way is to publish just really invaluable, great content like guides, and reach out to your partners, your local partners or businesses, and get them to link to you. Interviews can also be a great way to massage someone's ego to get them to link to you. Your Google My Business page, again, something that's very underutilized, but something that can really drive amazing results, and especially in terms of ranking on the local pack, the map section of Google. So I've added a few things here just to make sure you do. Initially, make sure you claim your business, upload lots of high-res images, and then add all of your business details like your address, your categories, services, amenities, etc. And make sure you collect reviews and respond to them, equally important. Using YouTube is especially useful because it's owned by Google, so your result, these actually can appear in the SERPs and the results pages of Google if you make sure you optimize the descriptions and tags well. When people find your website, letting them know what kind of experience they're going to get visually is really important, and will keep people on your site, increasing your dwell time and making sure that those search engines like what people are doing. Implement Google Analytics and Search Console. I think everyone should be aware of analytics and should be using it regularly to collect data and to measure all of those milestones that you're of the SEO work that you're conducting. In fact, anything that you're doing online, Facebook campaigns, etc. And Search Console, again, if you're not aware of it or have not got it integrated, make sure you do, because it's where you're going to find out a lot of information about your website and errors, and where you can submit your sitemap to Google to make sure all of your pages are crawled. Citations, these are where your business details like your phone number, address, and business name are listed across your Google My Business profile, and directory listings like Yelp, and all local partners. Mobile first, for those of you who are aware of this phrase, this is how Google now, and over the last few years, is now judging your website by its mobile experience and optimization. So make sure you are constantly checking your experience and how your mobile site is set up, and that there are no serious errors on there. Make sure it's quick loading. Data is varied on this as to whether it should be under 4 seconds and under 3 seconds, etc. But essentially, just reduce it down as much as possible. You may need some technical help with this, but the easy thing I'd say is just compress those images and make sure they are not. Finally, one of the things a lot of SEOs will tell you is about EAT, just to make sure your website content is of great quality, that it has got expertise, authority, and trust. And if you're doing this, the longer time goes on, the longer search engines like Google will love and trust you. And I'm just going to finish off with a couple of few ideas for direct booking incentives. And once we get people to our websites, there's a lot of things we need to add to make sure that they see all of the cleaning protocols, as I'm already mentioned, and trust, making sure they trust your booking process, making sure your accreditations are on there, making sure they know that you're an authentic business. There are a number of ways of doing this. But in terms of incentivizing a guest to book direct with you, I would say three of the most important would be to potentially offer a guest discount, maybe by signing up to a newsletter, for example. Making sure they know there's no booking fees. This is something that's often overlooked, but with all of the OTA, well, not all, but most OTAs, there are booking fees that are not necessarily transparent. So making sure that they're aware of them, and that flexible cancellation, every one of us need to be making sure that our websites are showing that the guests will more flexible booking on an OTA. And I'm going to finish up just with a few examples at the bottom there of some prospective incentives that you can offer all of your guests when they come onto your site, and make sure they know they will get 1, 2, or more of these when they book direct with you. So those are early check-in, late check-out, possible mid-stay clean, depending on how long they're staying, free breakfasts, which I love, free room upgrades if it's applicable to your units, local discounts with businesses, really easy to set up, and again, very underutilized. If you have the possibility of collecting your guests from a local train station or airport, free luggage facility, and one, again, a very an important, for me, incentive that we can all offer is that personal customer service we can offer all of our guests is going to be a lot better than they will get on a major OTA. They're not going to have to stay on hold or go through chat boxes, etc. So this is something that we can provide, and they need to know about. So that's me. If anybody would like to get in contact, there's my email address, my LinkedIn, my Twitter and Facebook. And as I said, I'm the founder of the Book Direct Show. We are helping property managers, short-term rentals, hotels, and service accommodation with ideas and how to get more bookings direct away and reduce their reliance on OTAs. And we've got 50 amazing speakers, experts in their industries. So yeah, we'd love to check it out. And maybe we'll see you next month. And that's me.
Thank you, Damien. Thank you so much. And again, just to stress out, in one of the last events, we had one of our customers that raised their direct booking from 8% to 30% during the last few months. It is meaningful. It is something that is purely based on what you guys can do. And the customers that are booking direct are usually more likely to come back again. They're already verified guests of yours. You know who they are. And you're able to really get a lot more and establish this kind of relationship. So highly recommending implementing everything that we've seen here. Thank you, Damien.
Thank you.